Just put it down. It's over here. Shit. There's one on the chair. We'll just take another moment or two of silence.
Thank you, Dawn. Aloha and welcome to New Thought Center of Hawaii. My name is Jean Love, and we're honoring the summer solstice, and we're live stream right now and live on the lanai with our people that are here today, and tomorrow we'll be on the YouTube. And 4 times a year, we set aside this time. Our wonderful Dawn Barnett comes down and we do this, and so it's a little different than our normal times here. And sometimes, or probably not so much when there's less of us, but just allow yourself a little, maybe an extra half an hour today. So it's about 2 hours. And before I introduce Dawn, um, we're going to do the announcements first, and I also want to ask if you'd like to lovingly give a donation. So do that online at our website if you're watching. And we really appreciate it. We still pay our bills and pay our people that come and do these wonderful things. So it's very appreciated. And so I'm going to read our announcements. So coming up next Sunday, you can come here in person if you'd like, and if you have a child and want free live care, you do um, child care. You do have to make reservations so that we'll have our child care person here for you, but that is free of charge, and she's here today. And so the next 3 Sundays, and we are going by the protocol of the safety rules of masking. And then out here, we've got plenty of space between everyone. And Don and I, we're like more than 12 feet apart. So we don't have to wear the mask. So next, and on the 27th is our Ambika Rose, who's in the house. And yoga nidra and self-healing will be her theme, and music by Mahina Sanders. And on the last Sunday, we also do a produce giveaway. We used to do a potluck, but now we're doing a lovely, if you have any produce that you'd like to share, it'll be outside at the end of the lanai, not the lanai, but down the walkway here. And we so appreciate it. And if you come, you get to have lovely free produce from your friends, which is a lovely thing that we've been doing. And on the July 4th, we have Dreaming Bear, and he's doing the music and the program. And if you've never seen Dreaming Bear, I highly recommend it. He's quite an amazing speaker, and it's about metamorphosis, the power of self rediscovery. And on the 11th of July is Julia Fairchild, and her topic is to be announced. And Jazz Marlin is our music. We haven't seen Jazz for a while, so that'd be awesome. Weekly, we have Maria Mann at her Monday gentle yoga from 5 to 6:30. It's $15 to $20 drop-in fee. And so the second Sunday of the month, uh, pre-service healing meditation with the crystal bowls from 9 to 9:30. That's by donation, and that's in this room over here. Saturday, July 10th, Maria Mann is full medicine yoga workshop from 11 to 4, and the fee is $45. We have plenty of service opportunities for you here if you'd like to come be part of this wonderful organization and help us out here. So we need people to help with ushering systems and cleanup, and the produce giveaway, of course, would be nice if you'd like to help with that. We do have the Malahia room is for rent for $100 a month. It's a beautiful space. It's an office space. You can see it right before you get to here, and it's for available for $400 a month. And the phone number is 919-744-6976. And if you'd like to be on our mailing list, it's www.newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. And you can also find us on New Thought Center Facebook and on Dolphin Podnas. So our wonderful Dawn Barnett has been coming here and doing these services 4 times a year for 27 years. I know. Isn't that amazing? Yes. And we are so very grateful. And she draws much of her sources for creating these programs is from Angeles Arian, who wrote The Fourfold Way. And she studied with her and the 1-year shamanic training with her, and including drum making. And then with the artist and teacher Ellen Fishburne, she did training in hypnotherapy with David Quigley and Yokio Hashwaga. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And the ceremonial practices of author, teacher, and ceremonialist Sedona Cahill. And Dawn studied with Sedona for several months and also did a 10-day vision quest in Death Valley, which was extremely life-changing for Dawn. We know that. And she's just a gift to us all. And these, I've had many wonderful experiences with this drumming through the years and through the work that we do with the shamanic traveling. And I'm so appreciative. So without further ado, Dawn Barnett.
Thank you for the acknowledgement. Hard to receive all that. Thank you. So we're here to celebrate. Actually, it's Father's Day, so I just want to honor my father, Father God, and all the fathers on the planet. Thank you for your, for your fathering, for your fatherhood, for all the ways that you show up. So we want to honor all fathers today, and also it's the summer solstice tomorrow. And so the turning of the wheel again for a new season. And in the work of Angeles Arian, it's the time of the healer. And so we get to check in with our hearts today and for this next 3 months and see if we're receiving just as much love as we're giving. And if our hearts are open, full, clear, and strong. And really working on self-care. How can we nurture ourselves better and better as we go through this life? And I like to start all my ceremonies by standing up and calling in the directions. So first we're going to face the east. Oh, great spirits of the East, we call you, we invite you. We humbly invoke your presence in this sacred circle. Please come and join us as we create a safe and sacred container to honor and celebrate the new season as we leave the springtime and the archetype of the visionary and move into the summertime and the time of the healer. We call on all the qualities of all the directions to come and be here, creating a container for this ceremony, this ritual. And we want to call on all the qualities of the East, the element of air, all the winged creatures. Ah, that great eagle that flies high and looks down upon our lives. May we look down from that height with new perception and new perspective. And may we see what no longer works in our lives and let that go. And we call on the butterfly that has taught us so much about transformation. And we call on the archetype of the visionary, that part of us that lives by the principle of telling the truth without blame or judgment. That part of ourselves that remembers the face we had before we were born, remembers our creative vision, our dream, our purpose in coming here in this incarnation. That part of us that's able to stand in the center of our sacred hoop and bring forward our authenticity into the world. Oh, great spirits of the East, the element of air, all the winged creatures, and the visionary within. We call you into our circle now. Aho. And making a quarter turn to the right. We're going to face the south. Oh, great spirits of the south, we call you, we invite you, we humbly invoke your presence here in our sacred circle as we turn into the cycle of the seasons, into the summertime. We honor the element of fire. Madame Pele, come into the circle, be here with us. Help us to burn away all that does not serve us in our lives right now. And we call on that fire element also to ignite the passion within our hearts and our great capacity for compassion. Element of fire. We also call in all the desert creatures, that coyote trickster that does help us in our healing in unusual ways, and the snake that sheds its skin. May we shed what no longer is working for us in our lives, and that small mouse that pays attention to what's right in front of it, its nose. Can we pay attention like that to what's right in front of us? And we call on that archetype within each of us of the healer, that part of us that is able to pay attention to our hearts and to what has meaning to our hearts. And let that be what guides us in all of our choices as we go through life. Helps us get out of our mind and into our hearts. Oh, we call on that part of us that's able to equally receive love as much as we give it out, to be in balance. We call on that small child within that sees everything with awe and wonder and curiosity. And may we also look at our lives with that curiosity and that wonder. And may we remember that the opposite of love, which is the most powerful healing force on the planet, is fear. And the thing that can help us to eliminate the fears in our lives is love, loving ourselves, loving each other, loving our community, loving the planet. This is the time, the season to focus on that love with compassion. And we want to call on that spark, the divinity within each of us that can bring that forward. Oh, great spirits of the South, we call you into our circle now with the fire element and all the desert creatures. Aho. And then making another quarter turn to the right, we face the west. Oh, great spirits of the West, we call you, we invite you. We humbly invoke your presence in the sacred circle, helping us to create a safe and sacred container for this experience, for this ritual and ceremony. We call on all the qualities of the West, the element of water. We call on all the oceans, the seas, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, and the blood and the lymph within our own bodies to come into this circle and be with us, and to remind us, as Grandmother Ocean does, to go deep and be fluid and flexible. We call on the water creatures, the dolphins and the whales that we are so privileged to interact with on this island that surround us in this beautiful ocean, and all the turtles and the fish and all the medicine that's in the oceans. And we call on the archetype of the teacher, that part of us that's the fair witness, that's able to hold space non-judgmentally, that part of us that's able to let go and be non-attached to outcome. That part is that's deeply connected to our wisdom, the wisdom that's in our womb and our gut, the wisdom that's our body knowledge. And we call on all the teachers that have come before us, our ancestors, and ask them to come into the circle, those ancestors that always stand behind us and say, maybe this will be the one that will break those harmful family patterns, harmful nation patterns. We call on all you ancestors to come and be with us here in the circle now. And great grandmother ocean, the water element, and all the water creatures, please come into our circle. Aho. And turning one more time to the right, we face the north. Oh, great spirits of the north, we call you. We invite you. We humbly invoke your presence in the sacred circle. Come and be with us. We call on the element of earth. May we be like the standing people, the trees that are deeply rooted into the earth and yet reaching up for the heavens. And we call on all the four-legged creatures, in particular the wolves and the dogs that teach us so much about loyalty and community. And we call on the great buffalo that taught us so much about the giveaway. And we call on the archetype of the warrior, that part of us that's able to choose to show up and be present, and that's able to honor and respect our own and other people's boundaries. That part of us that clearly knows the difference between yes and no. That part of us that's able to stand with our truth and our power in our presence and communicate in ways that empower others. That part of us that's able to come forth into the world with our medicine, with our true power, in a way that empowers everyone to come forward with their power. And there's never power over, but always empowering to all those around us and ourselves. We call on that energy of the earth and of the warriors and of the four-legged. Please come and be with us in the circle. Oh. And then standing with our hands above our heads. Oh, God, Goddess, Grandfather Sky, all that is above. We call you. Please be with us in the circle. Help bring us guidance. Help connect us to our higher self, to you, God, to all that is above. We call you and ask for your presence in this circle. Oh. And putting our hands on the floor, Grandmother Earth, whose body we walk upon, remind us to walk the beauty way, to recycle, reuse, and reduce, to be gentle in our walk upon this earth. Remind us that we can always do a better job. and that all things come from you and all things return to you. Great Grandmother Earth, please come and be with us here in this circle. Aho. And then lastly, with our hands on our hearts, we call in that spark of God that's in each of us, a part of us that's divine, that creates, that's already connected to our vision, our love, our wisdom, and our power. And we ask that, along with that divine child within, come forward to the place of the circle and choose to be present, being able to tell our truth without blame or judgment, pay attention to it at its heart and meaning, let go of outcome without attachment, and truly show up, being present, choosing that. Aho. And normally, when we're a regular circle, not in a pandemic, which is coming to an end, we hope, we pass around the talking stick and everybody says their name. And so I guess what I want to do, I think we did this last time, is we all do it at once. And we say, I am, and your name, and an affirmation after that. I like to say, I am Dawn, a ray of the Great Spirit, but you can say whatever works for you. And then we'll sing our names, and it'll be a chorus. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I am Dawn, Dawn, Dawn. It is different. We didn't do the first. We did the second part first. So, right. But we can do it the other way around. Now we can say, I am your name. I am Dawn, a ray of the Great Spirit. Aho. And hopefully all of us are here now, even those that are on the video. So, Father's Day, I wanted to bring a picture of my father, which occasionally I've done, but I couldn't find it. Yeah. Well, I like to remind all of us about the arms of love, so that we can reconnect with that part. And notice how we're doing this in our lives. Are we acknowledging and appreciating ourselves regularly? And there's 4 ways, 4 different aspects that need to be acknowledged and appreciated in ourselves first, and then those around us. And that is, do we acknowledge our skills regularly, our character, our appearance, and the impact that we make on other people? So one of the things Angela Sarian always talks about is to, take time every day to check in with acknowledging yourself in those ways to, help heal the healer within. And where we weren't acknowledged as children is usually places where we have low self-esteem and where we still possibly have work to do. So these exercises and questions that she puts out, can be very helpful in our healing journeys. And also, where and when do we express gratitude, validation, recognition, acceptance, forgiveness. Oh, that's a big one. Forgive yourself, forgive those around you. And hugs and affection, I think that's one of the things we're all missing. We all used to hug a lot more than we do now. And hopefully we're moving back into being able to hug more. And the 3 aspects of the true healer are seeing what's so. And I just want to say, when I think about seeing what's so, I feel like there's an enormous amount of censorship and misinformation from mainstream media that's put a lot of people in a lot of fear. And this is a really good opportunity for us to really work with not being in fear and also possibly doing research to hear other versions of the truth that perhaps we could resonate with a little more. And I do spend time every day myself, almost, doing research to allow myself to receive information that is not what they're trying to tell us about this pandemic, as a matter of fact. Seeing what is so is one of the true aspects of the true healer within. Also, seeing beyond the personality and being able to listen to other people without interrupting, without judging, and without giving advice. And I know a lot of people, including myself, but I'm much better than I used to be. So, really, about just holding space and listening and really listening. That's the biggest healing that we can do for others is holding that space non-judgmentally and not trying to fix them. And we talk about the the 4 healing salves. Storytelling is for the healer, and silence for the teacher, and dancing for the warrior, and singing for the visionary. So it's said that when you stop storytelling, singing, dancing, and taking time in silence is where you're experiencing soul loss. So I think we all need to dance more and possibly tell stories, but we also want to be careful with storytelling that we're not perpetuating stories that are. I feel like we tell ourselves a lot of stories that aren't necessarily the truth. And so I think that it's really important what kind of stories we tell. That we want to tell real stories that are positive, but also, that are true from our hearts, not not stories that bring us up in the bad light or something. That we really need to be careful what kind of stories we're telling over and over again. And my teacher, Angela Sarian, actually said that when you have a wound, trauma, that you should take that to a tree and tell your story to the tree however many times you need to, and then never tell it again. That it's safe with that tree and that we don't have to repeat talking about our traumas over and over again. That was an interesting teaching for the healer. Also, there's cradling work, which we'll do a little bit when we first lie down for our journey, where we put our hands on our hearts and we ask these 4 questions. Acknowledging your strengths, what you like about yourself, what contributions you have made and you are making, and what love you're giving and receiving. So this is a practice that we can actually do every day for a few minutes when you first wake up, is to put our hands on our hearts and just connect in with those questions. And we'll do that when we first lie down again. So there's also the addictions that we need to just be reminded of and look again at. The addiction of the warrior, of the healer, is addiction to intensity and dramatization. And that's usually showing that we have a lack of self-love and needing to do more of the ability to give and receive love. So do we ever exaggerate and turn things into drama? Then the other addictions to look at in this time would be the addiction of the warrior, which is addiction to perfection instead of excellence. I guess those people that are OCD I am only in certain parts in my life. I relegated it mostly to nursing, so that's good place to leave it. And so we need to learn to learn from our mistakes rather than judging them all the time. And then there's, oh, I like this one. I like looking at this. The addiction for the need to know and understand everything. You know, what we really need is to have discernment, clarity, objectivity, and trust instead of having to know everything and figure everything out, especially with people. Oh, I don't understand why they did that. And it's like, well, maybe you don't need to understand. Just let that be. And then the last one is addiction to focusing on what's not working. Um, I have a tendency to do that and focus on what's not working. And so whenever we catch ourselves doing that, it's like, okay, what is working? Basically, everything is working, even with all the stuff going on. The higher version, the higher truth is that it's all perfect, right? It's all exactly as it should be. And we're just on the road to the planet, the earth, the people, the community getting better, moving from third dimension to fifth dimension, moving into a higher state of alignment with spirit, God, whatever it is to you. Okay, so I want us to do a journey. Are there people here who haven't journeyed before? Yeah. So there's pillows and mats and stuff, and there's a bunch of mats that don't have any people on them if people want to grab something and lay down. I'm going to explain first about journeying in case people need to be reminded or don't know. My understanding of it is that there's three worlds: the lower world, which is where our animal allies hang out. It's not the underworld; it's just the lower world. And when you're there, it still has like the sky and the earth and nature and things like that. And that's where our animal allies hang out. And my understanding, which is just what worked for me, is that we have a power animal and then we have many allies. And our allies change as our life changes. And occasionally, if you have a near death experience, you might get a different power animal. But mostly we have one for our life. And they like for us to connect with them and put them in our altars, and they help us with the physicalness and our bodies and our lives if we want them to, and call on them and ask them for help. And then there's the middle world, which is the mundane world that we all live in, that we're all sitting here in this room together in the middle world. And then there's the upper world, and it's where our guides hang out, and that could be in the form of Jesus or God or angels or Buddha or whatever works for you, your higher self. And the idea with journeying is that we leave this middle world in a protected, relaxed way, and we journey on a path. And then we get to a departure point and we either go to the upper or the lower world, and we go down through a hole or a cave or something that goes down into the earth and comes after a few minutes. There's a light at the end of the tunnel and you come out, and usually you see an animal or two and you ask them, if you haven't met them before, if they're your ally or your power animal, if you don't already know them. And then you bring them a question usually. How can I be more connected to my, what really needs being healed right now in my life? And is there something I can actually do to promote that in some way? And then they take you on a journey and of some sort. Sometimes you hear things, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's just an experience. And if you go to the upper world, you can do it in a million ways, but you can get on the back of a bird or climb a tree or in a mountain and go up in an escalator, an elevator, an airplane, a helicopter, a cloud, anything that takes you up, 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 and then you kind of reach like a membrane and you pop through, and then you're in an upper world landscape where you ask that and your guide shows up and ask them if they are your guide, and then ask them your question. And then you just let it take you where it goes. And if you fall asleep, it's okay. It just really means that your guides are telling you need some more sleep, need more rest. And so, no judgment on how that goes. So, I'm going to say everybody can lay down if they can. And if you're sitting, maybe don't cross your hands or legs or anything. Oh, I really wanted to read this one little poem that's in Angela Sarian's book by Antonio Machado. It's a beautiful little poem. Last night, as I was sleeping, I dreamt, oh marvelous error, that I had a beehive here inside my heart, and the golden bees were making white comb and sweet honey out of my old failures. Being a beekeeper, I love that. Okay, so everybody get comfortable. Including you. No, I'm just going to sit. Yeah, because we're doing it different. So I'm going to drum for about 15, 20 minutes. And I'm actually going to do a little guided portion at the beginning and then just drum. And then it's important at the end that we all come back into our bodies. And so I do a special, like, I'll stop for a second and then do 7 beats 4 times and then say it's time to come back. And then drum really fast for about a minute. And so what you want to do is come back and bring all your journey with you. Anybody have any questions? I invite you to take some really deep breaths, about 4 or 5 really long, deep, slow breaths, filling up your lower belly, your abdomen. Allowing yourself to become very comfortable. Allowing yourself to feel the floor or the chair, to feel how it's supporting your body. And I invite you to drop a grounding cord from the base of your spine that's about as wide as your body. Just drop that kind of like the roots of a tree, down through the chair, the pillows, down into the floor. And just imagine growing those roots all the way down through the foundation of the building that you're in. Just grow them all the way down through water tables and perhaps lava. Just grow it all the way down to the center of the earth. And take a big deep breath and imagine that you can just pull that earth energy all the way up, that cord, pull the energy all the way up into your body. And then as it enters your body, just feel the earth energy just fill up your body, helping you to stay and feel very grounded. I invite you to also drop grounding cords from the bottoms of your feet and again all the way down through the floor and the foundation into the earth, water, lava, down to a beautiful, beautiful, pristine part of the earth. And again, with your breath, pull that energy all the way up into your feet, your ankles, calves, your knees, your thighs, your pelvis. your abdomen, your chest, all the way down your arms and hands and up in your neck and your head, just filled up with more crystalline earth energy. And then I invite you to imagine a star out in the heavens that was birthed when you were birthed, that's beaming a golden light down. Heaven's energy coming down in a beam, entering the top of your head, moving down on either side of your spine, of your back. And some of it, when it reaches your sacral area where your grounding cord is, goes down that grounding cord. And some of it comes up the middle of your body in front of your spine and all the way out your head, about 2 or 3 feet, in fountains all the way around you with this golden light. And just imagine it's running. All this energy is running through you. And this golden light coming down around you can create like a bubble of light all the way around you. And then notice what color it is, like a shimmering membrane surrounding you, holding you safe in your body as you prepare to leave it to go on this journey. And take a moment to think of your question, the question of the healer part of you. What needs healing right now? How can you have a little bit better self-care? Then I invite you to just imagine that you're walking on a path in nature. Perhaps it's a path that you've walked on several times in these journeys. Perhaps it's a new path. And just notice with all your senses, how wide or narrow is the path? What's growing on either side? What time of day is it? How does the sun and the wind feel against your skin? What are you wearing? Do you have anything on your feet? I invite you to imagine looking ahead on that path. And as it comes around a little curve, you see up in the distance a beautiful, big, huge tree, a mother tree. And as you get closer to that tree, you notice there's a little spring next to it with a big flat rock. And on that rock is a little gift for you to take on this journey. Just notice what it is. Put it in the palm of your hand and keep it there, or put it in a pocket or a medicine pouch. And as you're standing there, I invite you to call in a male ancestor guide on your right. Just notice who shows up. And a female ancestor on your left. Just notice who shows up. And an animal guide right in front of you, noticing who's showing up. And then allowing yourself to be drawn either to the upper world or the lower world. Allow yourself to just forget everything and let the sound of the drum just take you where you need to go for this journey. tracing your steps. Taking a deep breath, moving your feet and your hands, knowing that you'll be able to remember everything that you need to remember from your journey and bring it back with you into the middle world. And just taking a minute to reflect on what came to you in this journey. And I'd like to take this time while you're still in this relaxed place to do this cradling work, not forgetting what just came to you, but just taking this time to put your right hand on your heart and your left hand on top, and taking a moment to acknowledge your strengths, acknowledge what you like about yourself. Acknowledge the contributions you have made in the past and are making in the present. And acknowledge all the love that you're receiving and giving at this point in time in your life. I encourage all of us to do that when we first wake up in the morning or when we first go to bed. Wow. So normally at this time we pass around the talking stick. What do you think, Pasha? Um, uh-huh. Okay. It's only like 11:15. Yes. Why don't we do that? I actually have. Do you guys have pens? I have some in the car, but I didn't bring them in. Okay. I have paper. I just have blank paper. So we're going to take about 5 or 10 minutes to write down whatever came to you. And I want everybody to pick a number between 1 and 8 and write that down, because we'll talk about the 8 healing, universal healing principles. And you have to have a number. Thank you, Pasha. You guys could use your drums to have a firm surface to write on. Did we run out of paper? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I have some more. I didn't give you enough. Doesn't matter. No. And some of us are more auditory, other people are more visual. Sometimes it's just sensations. So all of it is information for us. Everybody come up with a number between 1 and 8 while you're doing this. 1 and 8. Just a number, pick a number. Almost done. Another minute. Okay. All right. That's awesome. Want to encourage everybody to bring spirit, bring the idea of their guide. You can't hear me? Oh, okay. I just feel like I'm so loud. I'm trying to not talk so loud because usually I really project. So, can you hear me now? Okay. Just want to recommend that everybody, whoever guide you got or animal ally or power animal, that we represent them by putting them in our homes and our altar or around us so that we remember that we can call on them to help us anytime, especially when we, have things come up in our lives that we can ask for their help.
And we do have to ask the animals.
Right.
They won't ever, like any of our helpers, they can't just force themselves on us. We have to always open
Ask.
and ask. And the animals love us to remember them because they'll kind of fade away if you don't
Right.
acknowledge
Work
them.
with them and
Yeah. So,
ask for their help. And so it's nice
yeah.
to, bring the idea into form by having,
Yeah.
a photograph or a statue or whatever, and then acknowledge their presence and work with them.
Sometimes real ones come and hang out in your front yard.
Right.
I won't come up my driveway. We want to thank you and also ask you if there's any announcements you'd like to
I was going to do
share.
this 1 to 8 number.
Oh, yes, that too.
So we'll do that first,
So,
and then we'll
yeah,
do
does
that.
everybody have a number between 1 and
1 and
8?
8. Okay, so these are the 8 universal healing principles, the practices or lifestyle choices that help us to maintain our health and well-being, both physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And they provide us a map to see where we're out of balance. So when we pick a number, then that's the one that we should be working on for the next 3 months, primarily, not that we can't work on all of them. So did anybody get number 1? Number 1. Well, good. Nobody has to do this. No, I'm just kidding. Regular exercise, daily and weekly. Physical exercise, dance, martial arts, swimming, yoga, whatever. Number 2, any number 2s? Number 2 is a balanced diet. Remembering to have a balance between our healing, nourishing foods and how much toxicity are in our food, but not just our food, but also our thoughts and our feelings. And then number 3, anybody got number 3? Nobody got 1, 2, or 3. Humor, play, and fun. So those of us that got number 3 get to have more fun and more joy and more laughter and more humor. All good. Number 4, anyway, got number 4. Are we all 9s or something? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was good. Number 4 is sound, music, and chanting. What is the quality of the sounds in your life? What music do you listen to? Is it healing? What is the quality of silence? What chants do I have? Are they negative or positive affirmations? Number 5, yay. Love, touch, family, and support systems. What is the quality of love in my life? How do those I choose to love treat me? How do I feel loved? Who do I feel loved by? And what is the quality of touch in my life? How and by whom am I touched? And then number 6 is creativity. Yay. Engaging in interests and hobbies. What are your interests? What are the contributions that you're making with your creativity from your heart? What holds heart and meaning for you that you're bringing forward with your creativity into the world? And number 7, lots of number 7s. Yay. Nature, beauty, and healing environments. Where do I choose to live? What connection do I have with the healing nature of Mother Earth? And internally, how's your internal environment? How's my self-love, my self-esteem, my self-trust, and my self-respect? Nature, beauty, and healing environments. That's number 7. And number 8. Number 8. Presence of faith, a spiritual practice, and believe in the supernatural. What is the nature of my connection to spirit? What are my prayers? How do I feel in solitude or silence? Do I allow for all of those in my life? What kind of spiritual practice do you have or need to have? I think mine was exercise.
They're all wonderful things to
They're-
nurture, every single one of them.
And we get 3 months to work on whatever that aspect is in our lives, to be supported by the season.
And Dawn is an amazing beekeeper besides all the amazing other work she does with nursing and healing is this way. But she's got some beautiful candles and delicious honey on the island.
I think it's the best honey for sure.
It's the best. And it's full of wonderful goodness. And is there any other announcements you would like to share
I thought
coming up for you up in Javi or
right. No,
okay.
it's pretty slow these days.
I think we covered our announcements. Okay, Ambika, would you like to? Yeah, we do have some pillows and blankets, but yes, if you are coming next week and bring your yoga mat or cushions, especially if you'd like to have your own, um, that would be wise. Yes, and a towel. It's a little cool. Yeah, it's a little cool on the lanai in the mornings. We get this lovely sea breeze. I wish you could see our view. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we get to look out at the beautiful ocean, but the sea breeze is a little chilly. And oh, okay. Pasha's always thinking. That's why she's our president. And there's the beautiful blue ocean. And I think you might be able to in some of our beautiful people here that have been here today. And this is where we'll be next week. And with lovely Ambika, be teaching her beautiful yoga. So I guess, yes. Yes, so the next week will be the last service of the month, and we'll have a produce giveaway, and it'll be at the end of where we enter here. And if you have any extra avos or mangoes or anything you'd like to share, we'd really appreciate it. And because we have so much abundance here in South Kona.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
that's
beautiful.
lovely. And there's some for Dawn now. Yeah, we have so much abundance. Where in the world do you get to walk down the street and pick up your avo for the day? Here.
Yay.
So
We are
I will
blessed.
look and hopefully find extras to bring next week. And if you have anything, and please come and share with the abundance. And that's what we're here. We're sharing not only faith and love, but abundance of produce too next week. So,
Should we do
a
our
walk?
closing songs?
Yeah, so we're gonna do our song,
We're going to
and
pretend
then
that
we're
we're
gonna
all
share after.
hand,
Yeah.
holding hands,
Yeah. Pretend we're holding hands. So
Well, I want to just first of all thank all those qualities and energies that I invoked to be here with us, all the spirits of um, that divine spark within each of us, and great grandmother Earth, grandfather Sky, all the qualities and the warrior in the north, and all the qualities in the west, the teacher archetype, and the element of water, and all those qualities in the south that we asked to come forward, the desert creatures and the fire, Pele, and all the qualities in the east, the element of air, the visionary within. We and our ancestors and our angels and all that we called forth. We're going to thank you so much for helping us to create this circle today and make a powerful circle for us to gather and journey and get more connected to the healer within.
oh,
We thank you and release you now. Aho.
hollow.
May we walk in beauty in a sacred way. May we walk in beauty each and every day. May we walk in beauty in a sacred way. May we walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift our spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill our hearts with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away our pain. May the beauty of the sky teach our minds to fly.
Fly on.
Woo!
Mahalo.
Well, we thank all of you for joining us that are here and that are here at home.
Yes.
And we're going to close so that we
helpers.
can share here
Yes.
personally.
Yes. Thank you.